mean, I'm happy how it ended, happy how it started. I'd say the end of the second and end of the third, they brought it to us. They played hard, and they're a good hockey team, and they can put a lot of pressure on you. And I think you saw that. Tomer made some huge saves at the end of the game. They outshot us. Obviously, our penalty kill. But I mean, all in all, I think there's going to be games, 82 of them, where you just do enough to win. There's going to be games where you play great, games where you play bad. I think tonight we did a good job of getting out early, and then Tomer shut it down. So.
What do you think? You have 7 new guys. Why do you think they've been able to kind of integrate as quickly as you have?
I mean, 7 really good people. I think they've been able to integrate because they stepped. They're good players. They're veteran players. They've played. They played in the NHL before, and they know how to handle it. And I think guys are excited to play this season. Guys are excited to see where this goes, and we got some veteran guys on this team that are willing to help out. The guys have just meshed really well. It's been good.
It's kind of an example of how hard it is to win games on consecutive nights against the same team in this league.
Yeah, it's really challenging. I mean, you think at times, right? You're like, okay, 4-0, we're playing well. We don't need any more goals, and then. You take your foot off the gas for a second. Philly starts playing really well, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 4-2, 4-3. And then they played well to the end, and we were fortunate we got some empty netters. But I think, like I said, it's challenging to play a full 60-minute great game. I think we did tonight. Last night I thought we played really well for 60. Tonight I thought we played really well for 35. And then Tomer shut the door for us, and we did what we needed to do to win. So.
The defense started each of those first 4 goals. How much of an impact have they had on you guys' offensive resurgence here in the first 6 games?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I can't talk enough about our D-corps. They've been huge for us. I think people don't realize how good defensively the 6 that are playing every night are. But then Mac makes a great play on the first goal. And then Sandy on my goal, and then the list goes on. Our D have been fantastic. So.
You've seen McMichael since he came up here.
Yep.
Where is his game, or how have you seen him progress?
Confidence. It's tough to come to the NHL. He was a young kid, came in, didn't get a lot of games under his belt right away, watched a lot of hockey. But I think it speaks to his maturity to be able to kind of absorb that, roll with it, and then come in, and he's played really good hockey last year, and he's played unbelievable hockey this year. I think it's good for him to play with guys like Willie and Doobie, experienced guys. Willie pushes everybody in the right direction. That's why he's assistant captain on this team. But Mikey's been really good, and the thing about him is he's undercover fast. He can skate, smart player, and he's matured a ton. And I think what people don't understand is defensively he's become a really, really reliable player. So.
Compared to last year when you guys were struggling to score, does it make it any easier when you can kind of score your way out of some of these problems?
Sure. I mean, the more goals you score, obviously it's going to lead to you being able to win hockey games. But at times, I think, not saying it's a bad thing, but any offense is great. I think obviously in a perfect world, we'd be looking to play as we have offensively and then put together the full 60. So.
So they're kind of in your face the rest of them.
Yeah, it's the last 2 games have been fun, but tough, and feel like we're trying to figure it right now. So as long as we're getting ways to win, that's all that matters.
Talk about what this stretch is going to be like now. Tampa coming. I mean, 5 straight impressive. This is a tough stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're ready for it. This is the tightest group I think I've ever been a part of, and these guys are putting their bodies on the line for each other every night. I think we're looking forward to the challenge. These are 2 great teams. Thanks, guys.
What have you seen from him that allowed his offense to flourish, especially tonight?
Yeah, he's a smart player. He's got all the tools, but he's really smart out there. He makes plays. He can pass it from anywhere. He can shoot. He's kind of that player that does it all. So it's been really fun to play with him, and he's doing really well right now. So we're all happy for him.
Do you feel like the team has a confidence offensively right now from the start of the way you've been able to score goals pretty consistently?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. There's gonna be ups and downs.
Right.
You don't want to be too high, but when it's going well, you also have to enjoy it. You have to ride it as long as you can. But it could also be luck. It could also be just getting bounces, or it could be you're doing a lot of good things. And and there's some nights that we could have scored more and we didn't, and there's some nights like tonight where it's just going in. So, you know, I think to be able to sustain that's the hard part, but we're all working towards that.
For you, as one of the new, there's a bunch of new guys. Do you feel like it's gone as well as you could hope, especially the records, 5 wins in a year, road, you 5 more?
Yeah. I mean, this is the start you want, right? You're not gonna go. We're probably not gonna go 81-1, but you know, you want to, like I said, you want to ride the waves as long as you can, and it's not perfect. Tonight wasn't perfect. Last game wasn't perfect. None of the games were perfect, but to find a way to win the games, that's what the top teams do, and you know, we want to get there. It's a long season. There's a lot to do, but you know, these points are just as valuable as a point in March.
Spencer, not easy to beat the same team 2 nights in a row. Obviously, they make it closer to start the third, but what went difficult nights in a row for you guys?
Start, capitalized on a few opportunities. Those early ones to build that lead into the second, and then probably about halfway through. I mean, sometimes it's not right on the point of when they scored. It was probably just a little bit before that, so 10 minutes in the second where we really ran out of gas, and we were just hanging on at that point. I mean, you got to give them credit, right? The power play goal gives them a little bit of life, and then they start to really push. When they start to push, they start to get a little bit reckless, and that gave us. When I say reckless, I mean like now they're just full go. They're not worried about what they give up at one end. They're just worried about getting the puck back, and that gave us a lot of issues. And you could tell we were absolutely gassed, physically and mentally. Poor decisions, and back on our heels. But you got to give our guys a lot of credit to be able to dig in there in the third period, and it was touch and go. Like I just watched a wrap around their 4-3 that like LT didn't know the puck was over there, and it hits his skate blade. So there was a lot of call them dicey situations there protecting that lead, but we dug in, did enough to get 2 points against a team that was pretty desperate tonight.
What were they doing to kind of break down you guys' structure in the D zone, and how much did your difficulty in the face-off circle kind of play into that, the second half of the game?
Struggled on draws for sure. That was a point of, not a point of emphasis, but something that we observed as we were going through that game. Is Doobie was struggling. Dowder even is usually a little bit stronger than he was tonight. I think he was like 7 of 17, I want to say, or somewhere around there. 41%. So that was an issue. I didn't think that the coverage part was an issue. It's just we would have the puck on our stick, and you got to find an exit, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't know. If that puck turns over, like they're gonna, and then if it turns over a second time and you can't find a way out, well, it's the same thing that happened to them on that one sequence where we give up the breakaway. But that minute and a half, like guys are just gasping for air on. So that was what it looked like for us when we couldn't get to a loose puck to find an exit, or we couldn't execute off that. And now you're spinning your tires in your D zone, and you're just hanging on for dear life to hope that you can do enough to either A, get a big save, or B, a puck squirts to the corner and you find a way to high flip it or whatever you can do to get it out. And that was the majority of the second half of the game.
What's the significance of Dubois just getting a goal there, even assistant empty there, and kind of getting rewarded for something like that?
Yeah, I think it's significant for him and O, to be honest with you. I think O's been like, he had a couple more really good looks like that pass. So I was like, I thought that was going in. I'm like, this is it. And similar to last year, like he's getting into some good areas, and even on the power play, he's getting his shot off, and they're just a little bit, like they're just not going in right now for him. So I think that'll help. Doobie, same thing, of getting on the board, just get the monkey off the back. So yeah, for both guys, it's I think it's significant.
End of the second period, it seemed like Logan made a handful of big saves to kind of keep it 4-2. What do you think of his play tonight in that?
I thought, obviously the goal, like 2 of the goals, I'm sure he's going to want to have back. But he also, and this is kind of the way that I evaluate goaltending, I'm not a goaltending coach by any stretch, but I look at it as a whole of like, did he make some key saves in some key moments that preserved 2 points, and whether that was 6-5 or 5-4 or 2-1 or 1-0. And I felt like, so yeah, there's a couple goals that give them life that you're like, you know, need better there, but there's also some huge saves, breakaways, even the Tippett one where he gets, you know, Tom does a really good job. Like, he's got to stay firm on his goal line. Like, I just thought he did a really good job of when that game started to turn, and now they're within one. And even to your point, to keep it at a 2-goal going into the third, he made some massive saves.
What did you see from Connor McMichael tonight?
A lot of positives. Like where his game's at thus far this year. He's playing at a real high level, making plays. Like that finish on the breakaway is huge for our team. He looks really good, and I'm happy for him because offensively, like I've talked about it a ton, is he plays in every situation. He's one of our smartest players that we have, and he's getting into some situations now where he can show his offensive ability to finish and make plays, and he's doing both those. Makes unbelievable plays to Willie, the one from last game, the sauce pass across on his backhand, like elite plays that are leading to, if not a chance, goals, and then to finish in some of those situations is huge. He's playing at a real high level.
Last one. Good. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit before the game, but I think all 4 of those first 4 goals were started by the defense. It seems like, and now I think they're all in the mix. Point-wise, Sandy gets a couple. And Mac,
purple apples.
First multi-point game of his NHL career. You know, how much of a boost has that been? I think I looked it up before the game. You guys had 1 goal and 21 points through 15 games last year from your D. This year, I think you got 4 and 16 or 17 now.
Yeah, I like what they're bringing offensively from the back end. Some of the things that we've changed systematically are helping, and then also I think we're building a real connection between our forwards and D, which has helped a lot too. Is there's a trust there. There's a it's hard to explain, but essentially there's a trust level there of like, we're going to get you pucks, and we're going to look after you, and we're going to protect you, and then there's a responsibility of our D to do the exact same thing in return. And that's where I think in the offensive zone, I could go into this for a long time, but forwards want to produce offensively. So when they get a puck and they give it back to the D up top of the blue line, that they're giving the D the puck, and now they're expecting a good decision or a productive puck, right? If you don't have trust there, forwards will be less likely, I'm not going to say they won't, because no one in the National Hockey League does not, but they will be less likely to give pucks back low and high, because there's not a trust and a confidence that puck will end up in a good spot, whether it's a shot, whether it's just released back, whether it's a DVD, whatever the decision is. So I feel like we've established that and worked on it. It takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes, building that, but I feel like our forwards and D are very, very connected with what we're trying to do offensively, especially in the offensive zone.
Thanks a lot.